Mississippi State has been a dumpster fire ever since Dak Prescott got drafted in 2016, and that's primarily been because they haven't found another good quarterback ever since Dak left. But with Kamario Taylor exploding on the scene last year in the Egg Bowl versus Ole Miss, I want to dive in the film and talk about why I think Kamario Taylor is one of the most underrated quarterbacks heading into the 2026 college football season, and why I think when we dive in the tape, we see a guy who could really shock a lot of people and put Mississippi State back in contention if they can just improve that defense. Let's dive in the film. The very first thing that I would be absolutely remiss not to bring up when talking about Kamario Taylor is his athleticism, because it is special. Here, Mississippi State is going to be running GH counter with the quarterback. Running back is going to take the free man coming in, and Kamario Taylor does the absolute rest. Here, we're going to have a 3rd and 2, and we're just going to put it in his hands and say, hey, get us a first down on QB blast, and that's exactly what Mississippi State does, and that's exactly what he does for Mississippi State against this Ole Miss defense, right? Next, we're going to see this 3rd and 6 right here. We're going to be running a smash concept to the boundary, but instead of your traditional hitch, we're going to have a kind of quick out / flat route from your tight end right there. And instead, he just makes a play out of structure, makes a linebacker, one of the better linebackers in college football, and TJ Daugherty just completely miss in the open field. Right here, we're going to be running read option. We're going to get the jet motion from our wide receiver to kick out the corner on the outside, and we just turn this into a huge explosive. We're talking about a guy who's able to pick up 30 to 40 yards when he's able to get to the second level of a defense, and that just highlights his athleticism and how special he can truly be at the quarterback position for Mississippi State. Here we're going to have a 3rd and 10. Absolutely nothing's open, and we're just going to make a play in the backfield, make about 4 or 5 guys miss there, and then we're just going to do the rest and take that into the end zone. Right? If we were to pause that, if we were to go all the way back to the start right here, and we were to pause it right here, you would say there is 0% chance this guy gets in the end zone. He not only makes 1 guy miss, he makes 3 guys miss in the backfield, makes a 4th guy miss right there, outruns Ole Miss defense, and then makes the safety miss in the open field. Now, I know Ole Miss's defense was not good last season, but this is still a guy who's in his first ever college start going up against SEC caliber football players, and this is what he's doing to them. Right here, we're going to have 3rd and 10, and we're going to have a little bit of the same right here. Absolutely nothing gets open on this 4 verticals concept. We hang in there for as long as possible. Nothing's open, and we're able to just jog and outrun Ole Miss's entire defense right here. But he's more than just a freak athlete with his legs. Here, you're going to see him actually get through a full field read progression on a spacing concept. Now, I don't know why he's starting to one side of the field and reading all 5 receivers, if that's what he's taught to do in spacing. Typically, you pick one side versus man and one side versus zone with an alert or something like that. But here, watch. He's going to start his eyes to the right side of the field, realize, nope, that's not open, reset to his over-the-ball route that doesn't quite get over the ball, get back to the boundary, and then take his check down right there. And we're going to look at it from the end zone view right here, and you're going to be able to see his eyes go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's going to get the ball out on time exactly like you want him to his flat out there. I just don't know why he's being coached to go through all 5 receivers unless that's something that he actually did mess up there, but he still gets back to his flat on the backside pretty quickly, I would say. And I think that shows up consistently throughout this Ole Miss game, is that he's able to get through his reads. He understands the spacing of a defense. He understands what his play caller's purpose in calling the play is. We'd call this play caller intent. He understands how we're trying to attack the defense, and he can get down to his checkdowns pretty quick. Here you see we've got another 4 vertical type concept here. Pass rush is getting to us. No one's open. We're going to get that ball out pretty quick, get it to our flat, and we're going to pick up an easy first down right there. Same thing right here, right? Running a vertical type concept right here. We're running a switch to the top of our screen right here. And yes, you could say technically he can fit this ball in here with enough anticipation, and maybe he should in this type of offense, but instead he sees the huge space in the middle of the field on 1st and 10 right here, 2nd and 10 I should say, and we pick up a huge gain right there, get an explosive 15-plus yard play right here on offense just from him not forcing the ball downfield, understanding he has his check down because that mic is pushed over to the left side of the field and they're bringing a blitz off this side. Great job just replacing the blitzing guy right there. And I also want to show here, he can anticipate throws, right? This is incomplete, and you may think, hey, this is a bad football, but actually we're going to look. This ball gets tipped at the line of scrimmage right here. But watch when he's getting this football out of his hand. Right now, this receiver hasn't even broke open yet, and he's throwing to this window. That's not something you see from your traditional college quarterback. Now, I broke down Trinidad Chambliss' film. You can check that out, and I think he's the most elite player in college football when it comes to anticipating throws over the middle, which is why I think he's going to be a first-round draft pick. But we're seeing Kamario Taylor in his first start anticipate a throw over the middle, go window shopping, and this should be an explosive, possibly a touchdown right here, and it just gets tipped at the line of scrimmage right here, as you can see, and that ends up costing us a touchdown. So you see, this game against Ole Miss could have been a lot closer than a lot of people realize, and Kamario Taylor is probably the reasoning for that. And we're talking about a team in Ole Miss who we would say is a top 3, maybe top 4 team in college football last season. Yes, the final score was really bad for Mississippi State, but you're going to see here there were a couple of explosives where we just missed, and I think Kamario Taylor, with a better defense, slightly better weapons this season, is going to be a lot better. Right here, I want to just show you his feel for spacing and what defenses are doing. Right, no one follows our receiver right here in motion, which tells us we got 2-on-2 to the field right here, and we're going to just quickly get to our curl right there, and he does a great job in this veer and shoot offense of handling stuff like that. Here, we're going to have a 3rd and 4. We have to pick up a first down right here. We need to understand, hey, what is Ole Miss doing to us? We motion across. We see this guy follows. That tells us it could be man, but they're most likely just following to make us believe this is man coverage. We probably got some type of cover 3 or something here. We're going to look the safety off, get to our seam route right here that's kind of settling this open space on top of the corner underneath the safety, and that's a great football. And you see we're getting to this late, right? We're looking to the left, getting this safety away from it, and then we're driving this football in. And these are elite traits to have as a guy in your first start. Obviously got hurt against Wake Forest, so we didn't get to see that full game either. But we can see elite traits here. Elite athleticism, as I mentioned, some anticipation, a feel for spacing, being able to get through his read progressions. These are things that you aren't used to seeing from college quarterbacks, let alone college quarterbacks in their first start versus an SEC defense. And here we're going to have a 3rd and 10, about 2 minutes left in the second quarter, so we got a 2-minute drive going right here. Yes, we want to also understand that in this 2-minute drill, we need to be able to try to get in the end zone right here, because if we give it back to Ole Miss, then we're ultimately going to allow Ole Miss to get the football back and possibly go down, drive, and score a touchdown on us. So we're going to be having a curl right here, and you see Ole Miss is playing at the stick. So we're trying to zip it in there about 1 yard short, possibly go for it on 4th and 1. And he's going to get this football out before his receiver even breaks. That's perfect timing on the curl. Unfortunately, his receiver doesn't plant well, and he doesn't get out of this break good, and unfortunately he drops this football because of it. And that's just really unfortunate to see, because this is elite level anticipation, getting that back foot and getting the football out on time. Now, I will say with his mechanics, I never loved the dip right here where we're getting to this kind of down reverse L position. I like for a quarterback to be straight back or slightly get back as they pull it back, but we see his throwing mechanics are working good enough for him here. But we're also going to notice there's a slight amount of improvement, right? We're going with the fake screen and go right here on the outside, and we just barely miss it. You'd probably say our SEC caliber receiver should probably pull this football in, but we just slightly miss out of bounds. You would love for your receiver to come down with that, but we probably missed him by about that much from him being able to catch it, and that's where we see, hey, we probably need to improve our deep ball a little bit. But here we're going to be running a fake dig and go, or fake capture and go, whatever you want to call it right here, where we want to force this safety to bite down. As soon as he gets flat-footed for 1 second, we're going right by him on the sluggo type route, and we get this football out, I think, just half a second late, and our receiver doesn't give us late hands, so it gets broken up. I would like him to get this football out right here. It should be out of his hands so he can give it enough air where his guy can track it and run underneath it. He takes about 1 hitch up, which makes him just a second late, which makes him leave this just about 5 yards short. Receiver has to slow down. DB is able to break it up because he doesn't give late hands. And I will say his accuracy can also improve. And also, I don't know if he's canning this at the line or what, but we're canning. Looks like we're getting zone here, just with the way Ole Miss ends up following right here. They bump over. Looks like we're getting zone. And either we're checking the protection, I don't know why we'd be doing that, or we're canning the play, and we're getting to a man beater and mesh against zone, and we end up missing our receiver behind. Really bad football right here, but I just don't understand, if we did check this play, why check into a man beater versus zone coverage? No idea. There are a million different reasons. Coach could have told him to do it. He could have did it himself. Could have just been changing the line call right there. Okay, and here I would say he does also still need some work with his anticipation. Here they're going to be running Y cross, and we've just got to get to our back foot, and we've got to get this football out on time right here. We are reading the seam. If we're going to read the seam, anticipate it. Throw it up. Give your guy a chance. Put it right on the hashes on top of this safety right here. Instead, we try to take off and run, and we miss two wide open receivers, end up taking a sack because we won't throw the football away. We've got 3rd and 1, and we're going to dial up a shot play right here as the OC. And watch how he kind of just sometimes gets stuck on receivers, right? We're running another double move type of route right here. Want to fake the fade, cut it in on the post. Yes, there's room in the middle of the field to throw this, but they are retreating instantly, and they're in a decent position to make a play on this. We know we have a go ball from our seam right here, or our slot right here, running a seam, and we don't even look to this side. He ends up getting wide open. We throw a kill shot to our receiver right here, and he just gets decked. Right? If you do make the decision to throw this football to him, you have to drive it in there under the safety, right? You have to put it exactly on the 20-yard line, drive it, let him flatten his route out and come back and get it. Instead, we give it too much air and just get him absolutely destroyed right there. And then this last one right here, once again, anticipation. It's something that pops up just a little bit. We're going to take a sack here. Really bad protection by our left tackle, but we're running another switch concept out here to the outside. And if they switch on this like they do, if this outside corner draws in on the switch, we should anticipate the fade on the outside, put it up there away from the safety where he can't catch up to it, give our guy a chance to make a play, get out our hand quick. Instead, we hold on to it, don't trust it, and end up taking a sack. We probably blame that on the O-line, but that's a situation where we can say, hey, sacks are a quarterback stat because you possibly could have gotten this ball out of your hand earlier, but also under 2 seconds. Is that really on the quarterback? Who really knows? But thanks for watching. Let me know down below what you think about Kamario Taylor. Like I said, I really like him. I think there are things he definitely needs to improve on, right? Keeps his eyes on some guys. Needs to understand when to put touch on the football versus when to drive it in there. Possibly needs to raise the arm slot if we're going to get a bunch of balls bad at the line of scrimmage, but that just might be a Mississippi State offensive line problem. Comment if you've made it to this point in the video what you think Mississippi State's record is going to be next season. I'm predicting 7 wins for them. I think it's definitely going to be a step of improvement, maybe even 8, and if they can do that, maybe get a bowl game, establish some momentum for the program. Thanks for watching. Let me know down below what you think, and see ya.